welcome back to the Thunder Rooster Podcast. My name is Ron.
And I'm Paul, guys.
It's nice to have everybody back, and if you're new, welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Hope you get the giggles and maybe you learn something while you're at it. Probably just the giggles, though.
I would hope. I think this is going to be a little bit of a laugh-intense episode, maybe.
Yeah. Have you had a good week?
It's been very long, and I'm tired of news. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to get this out here, guys. After tonight's show, I'm going to go MIA from the news.
He's tuning out.
For a week. I'm going to shut myself off. I can't deal with it anymore.
No, I think you need to do that, especially nowadays. I mean...
Well, I know this is going to be, a couple weeks, down when we air this, but right now there's just too much fucking crazy news right now, and I need a break, man.
Yeah, with everything going on in Afghanistan and COVID and hearing about Australia, which I'm sure we'll get to later on in this episode. But, yeah. Normally I wouldn't bring this up. I just had a birthday, and Paul got me some pretty cool gifts, and I'm wearing it right now.
You are feeling pretty dangerous today, aren't you?
Yeah, every day.
You should. Yes.
No, I love Top Gun. He got me a pretty awesome little metal sign. It's Mavericks helmet. It's pretty awesome. And a lovely Funko Pop Corey Taylor. So that was badass, dude.
Welcome, buddy. You deserve it, buddy.
It was pretty great.
Hope you had a good one. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah. I just hit something and it binged in
just
my
made me deaf. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, today's subject, we are talking about the one and only Alex Jones.
Oh no, it's coming. Infowars.com.
You either got a big smile on your face or you're just like, oh.
You either love him or you hate him. I don't know if there's an in-between with this guy.
I don't think that it's possible. You can't just be like, yeah, he's all right.
I will tell you, Howard Stern has some good bits with the fake Alex Jones. But yeah. Anyway, no. Now on to seriousness. So,
all right. So when I first heard about Alex Jones, it was basically, I explained to you how, like, when I get writer's block, I'll dig into paranormal or conspiracy stuff. And so
it is truly fascinating. That's everyone has a go-to. So
hey, it gets the gears turning. Hey. I keep saying it.
Yeah.
But I was watching this documentary on something, and it had a little piece of something Alex Jones did. It was whenever he broke into Bohemian Grove. And that's the first time I ever saw him, and I actually searched for him on YouTube, I think, around then. This had to have been back in 2007, 2008, something like that. And it was right around the time I first saw the Zeitgeist as well. So if you don't know, check it out. If you do know,
it'll change your life.
It's one of those things with the conspiracy theory stuff, and I think it's one of those off-putting things for a lot of people is the fact that you have this idea that you grow up with, and if you find out any of that stuff is true, it just completely crushes any idea you had for what life is all about. It's like everybody trusting that the government always has your best interest in mind. I would love to believe that. I know better. I would love to believe that. But it's one of those eye-opening things, and I think Alex Jones was one of those people that kind of brought that out for a lot of people to see. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, that's how the whole woke thing came about. That phrase got taken over by liberals.
Go woke, go broke.
So... I mean, that's what happened,
Yeah.
The woke thing was, you hear a lot of people joking around about, anytime you hear some kind of joke about conspiracy theories and stuff, it'd be like, wake up, sheeple. Stay woke,
He's one of the originals.
So, yeah, it definitely it definitely got taken over. That's for sure.
Yeah, I saw him. I now thinking about it, I think like a little bit after 9/11 is when I think I kind of saw maybe something here or there, and then down the road, he would just keep popping up somewhere somehow.
Well, he started out doing radio in Texas. It got big enough where he got into syndication and everything like that.
Could you imagine him doing the weather?
I don't think he did that.
No, I'm saying,
but
I'm just
imagine him.
I'm saying,
that.
thinking now if he did back then. There's a storm coming. It's coming hard. It's coming for everybody.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain. Save yourselves. I don't think you could get through without a laugh. I mean,
it's one of those things with Alex Jones is like we were saying, he's very polarizing. Like you either really love him or you really hate him.
Right.
You know, I've got some ideas about him myself that we'll probably get into that toward the end of the show. But like, you know, before we are shooting this right now, we tried this before. I forgot to hit record, so that was the first time I'd ever done that on the show.
The show must go on.
51 episodes in and 2 specials. Here we go. Anyways, yeah, you were saying that he's basically built his empire on fear-mongering.
I hate to say it, but it is kind of the truth. I mean, he's built a model on fear. But can you blame him? He's doing what he is trying to check and balance our government.
Yeah.
That's his mission.
Right.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
But he's an entrepreneur, so he wants to make money as well. But he's one of the best at what he does.
My thing of I think the fearmonger thing is just such a bad way of putting it, because all the stuff that he talks about is stuff that is scary. You know, I mean, he was talking about some really off the wall crazy stuff, like saying like you know, they were experimenting with half animal human hybrids and stuff like that, or just animal hybrids and stuff. Complete crazy shit.
Oh yeah, just
the papers have come out on that's actually true.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of shit that he talks about.
I know.
And
he's got. We will be honest about this because we don't know the figure. I was just bullshit about something a little earlier, but it is be a test that he's got things right, more things right than wrong.
Yeah, I think that's the scariest.
And that's
thing.
what you all should be very, very careful about.
Yeah. And that's the thing that sucks about him being deplatformed from everything. I mean, this guy he had everybody's attention because, like we were saying, a lot of stuff he gets right. And so he developed quite a bit of a fan base, essentially. You know, he, even to this day, without a platform, he's still soaring high on his own. That speaks volumes in basically a society where we have to be in everybody's face every day, you know, trying to promote something, which we're really bad at. You know, we don't post every day, which we should, but you know, I just don't feel like I should just put something up there just to put something up there. But Alex, I don't know if it's just he's created such a big cloud for himself that, you know, it just carried over. All his fans and stuff just signed up for his website and all that stuff.
Well, then on the flip side, though, you know, his career was pretty much done in over Sandy Hook's.
Not really. Like I said, he's still going pretty hard.
But
that was their main argument to take him out.
No, it took away from all his platforms. Yeah. He lost all his, like, you know, just to be on the social media type things.
My thing with Alex and the Sandy Hook thing is basically...
Because that one, that is the one that I don't want to touch.
Yeah.
Meaning I don't even want to speculate. Now, it was admitted, you know, because he gave interviews, you know.
Yeah, I will talk about his stuff. I don't want to go into Sandy Hook itself.
No. What I was just
saying, but I'm just saying.
What I was going with is that, you know, under the circumstances of what he was telling people, he said that he was under psychosis.
Right.
Because there's been all the years that he's been doing this, the good info, the bad info, it kind of meshed together. Mm-hmm. And I'm just saying what he was saying. Okay, I don't know how to answer that. And
that's the thing, too, is I don't know for sure or not if he was just saying that right. Just to, you know, 'cause he's a smart dude.
Like plead insanity just for...
Yeah, he's a smart guy. And if I remember this wrong, I wouldn't doubt that I would, but like I think he was going through a divorce and maybe trying to get custody of his kids around the same time this was all going down. So, you know, maybe he had to say something like that in a way, but at the same time, also leading in the whole psychosis thing. I mean, I also saw that kind of article or something over it, and it was saying essentially that, he saw a bunch of signs. He's constantly looking for red flags. Anytime something big happens,
but when you have to be presented in front of, for the fact that he had, answered to parents, and they're like, my kids are not coming back.
Yeah.
This is no joke. This wasn't a setup. My kid's dead.
Yeah.
So then you have to go, back up just a bit.
I'm not defending that.
I know, that's why.
But I just want to give the other side of that is the fact that, shit like this has happened before.
Right.
I mean,
it happens in other countries, right? It just.
And a lot of it has to do with, as soon as something gun related happens like that, immediately
they want them all.
They come in.
They want them all.
They've been unsuccessful so far, but they're still infringing on the Second Amendment, which should not be happening. But there was a lot of, red flags in the whole thing. Like with the whole school shooting thing, or let's just talk about after the fact. My biggest eyebrow raising moment on that whole thing was the fact that they bulldozed the entire school down afterwards.
Yeah, that's a little fishy.
That just seems like you're trying to cover up evidence. It's just like, with 9/11, they hauled off all the debris to an undisclosed location and nobody was able to even look at anything of it.
And the pages from the 9/11 Commission report that are just scratched out, white out.
Oh, and by the way, we're doing 9/11 next episode.
God bless America. Can't wait.
We were going to do this last year, but we wanted to
what our whistles.
We wanted to get our podcasting legs, We wanted to make sure we were going to do this to do it,
Yeah.
But yeah.
But then
Alex is a character.
He's a character, and we actually both watched a documentary recently. I actually watched a couple days ago, and I had not seen this.
Yeah, it was called Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement is what it's called.
So that really, I told you Zeitgeist was kind of the thing that got me into conspiracy theories while I was in college, but then I watched this for the first time, and like I said a couple minutes back, I'm getting away from the news for a minute, because this kind of messed with me a little bit. It kind of brought back all those other things that had happened years ago. Yeah. And it was just kind of spinning everything from 20 years to now.
It's a crazy ride, that's for sure. Especially if you imagine watching that and not knowing anything, having not seen Zeitgeist. Would that not have
that would have been my Zeitgeist, because it would have been like, wow, there's, in his eyes, there's a group of individuals that meet once a year, undisclosed locations.
It's not in his eyes.
You know what I mean? Heavily secure. Can't know what's going in and on, but fact of the matter,
biggest names are there.
The biggest names of whoever it is in the world meet together to make the decisions for everyone.
Well, that's the thing too with the Bilderberg group. When Hillary Clinton was about to run against Donald Trump, Obama and Hillary both went missing for a little while during the time that Bilderberg was having their meetings. So it's
isn't it ironic?
Interesting, right?
Don't you think?
But it's already been, like, even in that documentary, and this was released in 2007. It had talked about Hillary Clinton attending those, and this was before. I think it was even before she was like the governor of New York, or what?
Senator, I think.
Is a senator? Yeah, senator.
I think, yeah.
That's right, senator. I don't know. It's one of those things you definitely can tell after getting into the conspiracy stuff that there's certain people that are henpecked for certain things. Especially with everything going on in the world, the elites or whatever. It explains a lot, because whenever Hillary Clinton she was charged with, committing crimes against the country for what had happened with erasing her emails. And the freaking FBI.
The emails. Just bleach the emails, guys.
The FBI said she's guilty.
Oh, yeah.
But there's nobody who would take that case on.
Comey?
Yeah, Comey.
I don't know.
Comey Island.
Comey Island.
Probably somebody that's been down to Jeffrey Epstein's island. Jeffrey didn't kill himself. Oh, Jeffrey.
But yeah, these guys, they all meet. They control how they're going to raise gas prices, taxes.
Yeah.
World wars. I mean, and it's about 125? Want to give it at least 100 that meet.
Yeah,
and you have everyone from different walks of lives. You have CEOs of automobile companies. You have CEOs of energy companies. You have a little of everyone in that pot.
Yeah. Might have to dig into that more as its own episode one of these days. But, I will say it's interesting that, something I brought up to you outside one day, how we were talking about how they always have the Forbes richest people in the world. Mm-hmm. They always leave off the richest family in the world. They always leave off the Middle Eastern princes who own all the gas and oil.
Everything.
So it's like you look at the richest people in the world and it's just completely overshadowed by all the people that they don't mention. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. I'm sure Bill Gates and Elon Musk are probably up there, but I mean, we're talking in the billions and billions of dollars at that point. So yeah, they're probably close, but
yeah, they're all in the billionaire clubs.
But yeah, don't you find that ironic that they leave that off? Why would they leave off that if they're trying to do like an actual calculation of the richest person in the world? They don't want to draw attention to themselves.
Nope. They don't want to be public enemy number one in their book.
Right. I don't know, man. It's really fishy. Alex Jones has exposed a lot of these kind of topics. But what's crazy is the more you look into it, the more interesting it becomes because you're like, wait a second. That crazy fucking dude was right? What? And then you hear him fucking, which don't get me wrong. Yeah, I am somewhat a fan of Alex Jones because he is right. He's funny. Dude could be a stand-up comedian. Matter of fact, he could be saying all the same crazy shit he's saying right now. If he was a stand-up comedian, he would be completely fine and get away with it every day. He has the chops and he is funny enough to be a comedian. And he could say the most craziest shit. And it could be true even. I mean, look at George Carlin. How much truth did he spit?
God bless him. Rest in peace, buddy. Yeah.
But I mean, it's all about context and a lot of stuff. Like, we're going to show a little something during the break.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff in that that's completely taken out of context. It's just little things. He's an amazing voice actor.
Oh, that voice.
Like, he's got that. Like, I could do it.
Infowars.
Well, he was doing something. I can't remember what it was like. It was like a Optimus Prime or something like that. It was get the Autobots.
Get the New World Order. NWO.
He's something.
He's
else.
A charismatic guy.
We're gonna take a break real quick.
Yeah.
We'll be right back, folks. Hope you enjoy this little break. Hi.
Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that PSA.
Yep. That guy is entertaining.
Guy's a nut job.
He's got something, man.
How about when he rips his shirt off? Like Hogan? Yeah, that gets a little crazy.
One of those things I remember him doing, he did it so that somebody could do a meme of him doing the whole Super Saiyan thing from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Oh.
As funny as it is, it's about to get sad.
Yes. Yes.
So he's been attacked over and over again.
No, he hasn't.
By everyone.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting because you're essentially building this boogeyman up. Because you can say elites, the global elites, You can say them all day long. You don't have any certain person to point to. You know, I think if you could find a way to make that all light, then it'd make more sense. But it's essentially you're going after an invisible boogeyman.
And if you start making names up, you better be careful with who you address.
Yeah. Now,
because they have ways of making you go away. And we've seen this in the conspiracy world.
Body count.
That they just disappear.
Right. That's the thing with the whole Epstein case is I think, you know, obviously he didn't kill himself. But I think what it was is he had a lot of he had a lot of blackmail on everybody.
Yeah.
And I bet you he was about to sing like a canary.
Yep.
And that's why they had him taken out.
Yep.
So that, you know,
there's a lot of damaging information.
Well, Alex Jones did talk about a lot of stuff about even him, the possibility of him being an agent, some kind of like undercover agent, sure. Whether it been like through the Mossad with Israel or like through the CIA, you know, with what he got away with, because he had been actually tried and convicted of pedophilia before with like, it was an underage, like, I forgot exactly what it's called, but he's essentially something of a minor or something like that, like soliciting sex from a minor, something like that. Anywho, well prepared thought, Ron.
Where are you going?
Yeah, but he got let go. Essentially, he'd had to do jail stuff, but he was there during the day, or no, he slept there at night. He finagled a way somewhere or another to get where he could leave and be gone.
And then he would just come
all
back
day.
And be like, hey guard, I'm home.
He essentially had a bedtime to go and sleep there, and then he would run his business, go on free will. Like he didn't have a guard or anything with it.
Just leave the light on for me. I'll take care of that for you.
So that was his jail sentence.
Sounds like country club to me.
Yeah. But, you know, Alex Jones has been in the forefront on that particular case. He's been talking about, I found out about Jeffrey Epstein and the Lolita Express years ago.
See, that's actually something not till this came about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alex Jones was talking about that shit back in like 2010, 2012, something like that. I mean, he was talking all about it, mainly just the fact that Bill Clinton was on there. And he knew that whole thing was basically a flight to fucking Pedophilia Island. It's what it is.
Bill doesn't do anything bad.
Dear Lord.
Oh, Bill.
You know, that's another thing. This whole Me Too movement, you guys really dropped the ball on that fucking shit. I mean, seriously, though.
I mean,
you got all these people popping up, all these fake wannabe.
Regardless if it's fake or if it comes up, but where was it at Bill Clinton?
That's what I'm talking about.
You went after Trump.
They're trying to put all these people, especially in the Democratic Party, that are up on these pedestals.
Let's be fair.
There is a video of Biden pinching the nipple of a little 8-year-old girl during the Obama administration. Where's that? Why isn't anybody talking about that? I don't care about your politics. That shit's wrong. He sniffs little girls and boys' hair. There's even a video that happened recently where he tried to hold the little hand of a boy. I told you the one where he was, Biden was like,
with his mask off, and he took his mask off, and he put it in his hand, and then he just came by the boy and then like tried to lock hands with him, and then he put it in his hand, and they closed and they held hands, and then he just let go, and the boy was like, like that ain't right.
He has dementia or not. I mean, that's messed up.
Yeah,
that is inexcusable behavior.
110%.
But yet, nobody says nothing about that.
Nope.
Not a damn thing. Same thing with Bill Clinton. Same thing with Hillary. They're just the gods of the Democratic Party to them.
Well, when you have a foundation, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Let's not get into that. You know, the whole thing with people paying millions of dollars for Hillary to come speak for half an hour. Yeah, that's not pay to play at all. Hunter Biden all of a sudden has an art display and he's selling art pieces for $500,000, $1 million. I mean, come on. All this is pay to play stuff, folks. All of it.
Crack kills.
Yeah, right. He's off there blowing.
But wait,
smoking crack.
But he is the smartest man that Daddy thought he said he never was.
Yeah, that's.
Let that marinate.
The dementia part.
Commander in Chief said his son is the smartest guy he's ever met in his life. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man. But I mean, Biden is kind of one of those examples. I saw a meme earlier today, and it was funny that, you know, the Democrats, liberal, like the left, will say, because I don't like doing the whole Democrat Republican thing. I don't consider myself either one of those, but you know, there's a lot of people talking about Trump being such a dumb ass president for 4 years straight. And their answer to that was putting Joe Biden as the president of the United States. I mean, wow. Wow.
I mean, maybe he gets the opportunity to hop on Air Force One and go to like a Baskin and Robin in every state so he can get his ice cream on.
There's another meme trying to guide Biden back to his house because he apparently doesn't know where he lives anymore, with a ice cream on a stick just dangling in front of him. Oh man, I don't care if it's a Democrat, Republican. I just want somebody who's actually intelligent, who actually has great ideas.
You just said intelligent in public office.
I know I'm asking for a lot.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
There's too many incentives to be a politician.
Of course.
There's so much power involved in it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know of anyone that I think is completely their own strong character that they're actually going to try and make America a better place. Now, I will say, Trump was not the best representation for a president.
Do you remember what
at all?
Right, because remember what he said. Remember what the clip they had on the smear campaign when he was running for election? I could stand in the street of New York and shoot someone, no one say a word.
Yeah,
that was messed up.
That was very
messed up.
Yeah,
They're all vampires. They're blood-sucking vampires, every single one of them. It's political theater, friend. That's just my opinion. But let's talk about where
President Trump was not the president we wanted, but he was the president we deserved.
I'm gonna grab her by the pee. I mean, yeah, right. Anywho,
that wasn't fair.
Let's talk about what he didn't get right, supposedly.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what you're about to bring up, so I want to definitely hear these and react to them.
There was only a couple because
there's not a lot.
No, they did like a top 10, and like I said, at least 5 of them, like, I'm not putting this on here. Like, I really think that this is like turning a corner now. So some of them a little and it's like, okay. First one, he did say on his program that, and this was he said this in about 2008, right as the bubble was going. Stock market was crashing. Yeah. If some of you are aware of this, some of you may not. But he said in the next 2 years, he said that the dollar was going to collapse 90%.
Yeah.
Well, they fact
it wasn't 90.
I mean, they said it was 50 over 2 years, so whatever. Take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was one of them.
Regardless, that was a huge cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one I was telling you today. So there was a movie that came out a couple years back with Danny Trejo, which we're very big fans of his movies. But this one was called Machete. You have not seen this.
No.
So I have. I've seen both parts. Just a brief description without actually giving the entire plot of this movie. Danny Trejo plays Machete, who is basically a renegade who is like trying to help his people in Mexico because of all the situations that are going on with deportation, and so it's an uplifting movie, and there's a lot of good actors in it, but it's a very violent movie.
Oh yeah,
extremely. Like, so the trailer for it came out, and Robert Rodriguez had produced the movie, and he came out and said this movie's going to cause a race war. He flat out just says, "Oh my God, everything's going to go to hell. People are going to kill people. Better freaking be ready." And really nothing happened.
When did this come out?
Stand by.
Dead air.
Stand by. It was mid 2000s.
Well, yeah, that's the thing though. Is like, how are we with race nowadays?
2010.
Okay.
You even had
add 10 years to that. Yeah. What's happening right now? I wouldn't say we're not at a race war.
Where we have problems with the border.
Oh yeah,
that was sure definitely heavily portrayed, and there's some subject matter involved in that I'm not going to discuss from the movie that you will see firsthand.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties in today with that. But
no,
at the point in time he said that nothing happened.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You get caught up in hearing all this stuff and you're thinking it's like, oh, I'm running out of time. It's going to happen tomorrow, and, the stuff takes so much time to unfold.
Because what happened was Arizona in 2010 had introduced a controversial law towards undocumented immigrants. So that's where he felt that once that movie came out, that was going to cause this fury.
What was do you know the legislation?
No.
Mm-mm.
But he was wrong. It didn't escalate. And he mentioned about a staged assassination attempt against Obama, which I don't remember anything about that.
That didn't happen.
Right.
Let's all be honest, though. Everybody was expecting that. I mean,
I would think probably at some point.
I'm saying this
everyone's
right now,
everyone's going to think at one point that there could be an opportunity. I'm not, that could happen because, Reagan went through these things, the Kennedys. I mean, it's very possible.
No, my thing of it was a lot of people suspected that something like that would happen because Obama was the first black president. And, they talk about race stuff a lot these days. I honestly don't think this country is as racist as people claim. Yeah, there's a lot of assholes out there,
But it's the message the media can spin.
Right.
The media is the most potent weapon on earth.
They're making it a hot topic is what it is. And, back then with the first black president, there was a lot of people that was like some crazy hillbilly motherfucker who's going to try and take him out because he's black,
Right.
All kinds of stupid shit like that.
Hands down.
So I don't see that as like, of course he was wrong about that, but I'm not surprised that that's something he thought because there's a lot of people who thought that.
Right. I mean, that one kind of was, those were a couple that I came up with, but I mean, like I said, other ones were, I didn't want to reference anything on Sandy Hook. I just want to stay away from that. But I mean, we'll cover 9/11 in full. I don't really want to.
Yeah,
I don't even want to go into little
episode.
things. Yeah, that will be completely for that. But
yeah,
I mean, so at the end of the day, he's like a Howard Stern. He's a shock rock guy.
Yeah,
but he does it in the form of politics.
That's crazy. He is definitely a shock jock. Essentially, that's what it boils down to. He's an entertaining guy. Even if you think he's completely crazy, at least look at some of the stuff he's talking about.
I mean, if I saw him walking down the street with a megaphone, I'd probably walk away. I'd step back a little.
I would watch what's going on for sure. Like he's a crazy guy.
You do your thing, dude. I'm just standing right over here.
He's a crazy guy, and definitely I don't want to be around that kind of energy. But that's the thing. It's like
that'll be like if you're by him,
there's going to come a time.
It'll be guilty as association, like you were just on the NDC on the 6th.
I honestly think if things keep going the way they are headed toward, there's going to come a time where we're going to really wish we had a lot more of Alex Jones around. Because there's so many things that he's talked about that's coming true. Even with the FEMA camp stuff. You just showed me something the other day about Australia building little
let's just mention this
camps
right now with what we've been obviously in this. We'll just mention it briefly. But if you're not familiar with what's going on, first and foremost, this is why, because we have our guns, thank God, this is why we are not Australia.
Yeah.
Australia has been locked down, if you're not familiar with this, over like 1 or 2 COVID's issues. I don't know if they're even deaths, but they locked down their citizens.
There's only been a handful of deaths of this entire time.
If you leave your home, it's a $5,000 fine. They don't want you.
Also, a threat possibility of going to jail over it.
They don't want you talking to your neighbors. And then just earlier, they're like, they don't even want you to look at the sunset.
I even saw something that says, don't even open your door.
You know what? At that point, but see, there's nothing they can do. You know why? Because they took their guns away.
Exactly. You guys always get up. You know, there's a lot of people that was like, you don't need a gun. You know, that's what police are for. That's what the military is for. It's like, we have the Second Amendment to keep tyrannical governments from doing that. And think of all the stuff that's happened over the years. That is particularly keeping bad shit from happening that way in this country.
Guys, got to tell yourself, if this country can do this or another country can do this, why couldn't it be us?
Because we have guns.
As of right now.
Yeah, as of right now.
As of right now. And we can go and we can do a whole nother show, about that too. But again, I'm for the strong stipulations. I'm for that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think we should definitely have strict gun laws in places, and there should be an age limit. If you had a felony, you shouldn't have it. If you have some kind of mental disability, you probably shouldn't. There should be a thin line between what mental disability they try to use, because they could say somebody with slight bipolar disorder or something like that. You could be a functioning bipolar person,
right?
And they would say you can't have a gun.
Right.
I think that'd be too far, but something's got to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously have history records and stuff you could look at. I don't know. Again,
but it all comes to fundamental rights, and this is what we're seeing. We are seeing rights being taken away, but the way they're being propagated, it's a life and death situation.
I'll say this right now before we go to break. We just ended our 20-year war on terror, because now we have another endless war we can fight called COVID-19.
Mission accomplished.
Thanks for cutting me off, Paul. COVID-19. We'll be back with our 3 shots and funny in our end of the episode.
Dick. Mission accomplished.
I mean, I'm not even worthy to be bringing you information this powerful. And I hope that you pay attention to what we cover here minute by minute. Because I've had chills since last night. This just confirms everything else we've already researched. A Rockefeller study envisions future dictatorship controlled by elite, millions being killed, mandatory quarantines, checkpoints, the end of the family, everything that's in the other documents. But this dovetails with all the other Rockefeller Foundation documents about the GMO food to sterilize you and the forced vaccines and the hell we're already living in that's just going to continue to intensify until we take our governments back from these eugenics madmen. But that story is up on prisonplanet.com. The question is, will you have the courage to really do the research yourself? Because I don't want you to just sit here and hear me make these claims. These people are so arrogant that they write policy papers, so many of them, that they're producing these policy papers and reports and white papers so fast that you could never read them all. It is an open conspiracy against you and your family. I pray to God, I pray to my Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ, every night to give me the strength and the will to be able to face this horror and to give me the strength to carry on, because I know why a lot of you don't want to look at this information and just want to comment on the YouTube videos or on message boards that I'm a liar. I know why, because it's scary. You're not going to be able to go to the ball games anymore. You're not going to be able to just go out and get drunk with your friends. You're not going to be able to just, go out and enjoy yourself all the time. The only chance we've got of beating this scientific dictatorship, this creeping death that takes its time to incrementally enslave you, mentally, psychologically, physically, spiritually, the only way to defeat it is for the rank and file of this planet to realize that you have a choice to make on what your destiny is going to be. once you face this information, once you've consciously admitted it to yourself, it will take over your life. It should take over your life. Well, I mean, what else? What else could it do? We've got to get past the artificial stigma that the controlled corporate media has been putting out for decades ahead of their unveiling of planetary dictatorship. They all talk about how we need a police state to carry this out.
Canada and the United States are going to work in lockstep, display the seriousness of our commitment at both home and abroad.
Win, lose, or draw, you need to choose a side.
There we go.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Ron, I'm sorry that I interrupted you.
As you should be.
No.
I just took him in back and slapped him around a couple times. That's why he's changed his tune. No.
Keep pushing it, boy. Keep pushing it.
All right.
So do we have anything else to add? Do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts on Alex Jones? No. I don't have final thoughts on him because until he dies, there's still going to be more and more comes out with him. I don't think that's going to quit. I mean, they've already done everything in their power to completely censor him and keep him off the radar, and it's not happening. It's not. Do I believe everything Alex Jones says? No. But with his track record, I do actually listen to what he says. I at least hear out what he says. I'm not one of those I'm not an audience member as his. Like, I don't listen to everything that comes out day to day because he has like a 4-hour long radio show every day of the week. Well, the work week at least. I think, and on Sunday. I think his only like day off would be Saturday, and still sometimes he'll put out stuff on Saturdays. So, of all else fails, that dude is a hard worker, and he's got a crazy drive, and it's really. He's got balls. I'll say that. Just to do everything that he does, to go out and fucking just yell at people.
He goes to the border and yells, and he's like, "You're smuggling Mexican children," and he's like literally looking at the van, telling the security guys, and they're all like, "We don't know what you're talking about." And then he just pops up another blood vessel. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, he gets worked up,
heated. So
when he believes what he's saying. And a lot of the stuff he's been talking about has been coming true. So, like, let's say he's right about everything. If you're one guy who seems like you're the only person that cares enough about the country to fucking try and scream on top of a mountain, try to get anybody who would listen to listen, would you not fucking act like him? That's the thing. It's like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
But all this shit that's been coming true about stuff he's been talking about kind of makes you think about that.
Oh, you know it.
I mean, he's figured it out way before anybody else. And he is screaming at the top of his lungs, just trying to get somebody to pay attention to what he's saying.
Look at me!
Right.
Look at me!
So I still don't have. I still don't have a final thought on him.
My thought is, I guess I'll just have to wait what he's going to do next. That's just going to be it for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's close the conspiracy.
I don't love Alex Jones.
I don't love him either.
I don't hate Alex Jones.
And I don't hate him either.
And at the end of the day, the First Amendment's there for a reason, and that's so you could speak your mind. Okay. I honestly think that there shouldn't be hate speech or any kind of monitored speech. Honestly, I want to know those people. I want to hear what those people say, the stupid shit they're going to say. So at least I know they're saying some stupid, dumb shit.
Right.
Nowadays, they have it where everybody's on their best clean, mind your own business stuff. Like, I'm squeaky clean, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if these trolls or hall monitors weren't around, what's your true feelings here? That's the thing. If you're racist, be racist. I want to know you're racist.
All right.
If you want to, well, that was the thing. It was like, as an FBI agent, wouldn't you rather there be something like Facebook where you can catch people posting their thoughts and like man, I'd certainly like to take out a school or something. Those guys are being mean to me, blah, blah, blah. Red flag. They already have all the stuff in the computers. They've been monitoring our phones, our emails, everything.
Till Snowden blew the whistle.
Yeah, which I'm sure they're still doing, which actually makes a lot of sense. Why do you need Facebook if you're already tapped into your main source right here? Hello, FBI guys.
Hi, Comey. How you doing?
But yeah. All right.
Let's close the theories down.
Yeah.
No more news.
Let's pop into our
time to bring the funny.
3 shots of funny.
Do it.
Wrong video. There we go. It's usually the top one, man. It's usually the top one, and I forgot I named my video something that starts with a 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, it is you and your wife's week. So why don't you start? What is that one called?
All right. Just picked out one that's called Mouse. And I have to say I saw this one with her. So it's a cute little mouse. It's going up to a mousetrap with cheese on it, and then snap.
I thought he was gonna get smacked in the trap.
That's what I thought. I was like, because I've seen that.
You're literally gonna make me watch this.
I've seen when I first saw this, when she first showed it to me, I thought it was like, because there's a video of like a night cam, like a closed circuit, a CCTV video of a mouse getting caught in a mousetrap. And then they show like what looks like the soul of the mouse leaving the body, you know. So I thought it was one of those type of things. And then you see it get snapped and it's like, oh, and then you see the roll and the scream and you're like, oh, jeez. But I thought I was also thinking that maybe I might thaw a mouse get its head decapitated. I've seen that before. All right, what do you got for me, Paul?
Wham wham.
Wham wham. That would be a wham.
Wham! Wham! There's just something about watching people get slapped in the face with powder.
Where's my powder at? That's awesome. All right, so mine this week I thought was pretty funny. I'm just going to call it 3 count. You'll figure out why.
What the hell?
This looks like he just suplexed her on the ground.
DDT.
That's awesome.
Oh.
All right, folks.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's always fun talking about these kind of things, but
it isn't. It isn't. Because
I kind of feel like I ran into that same kind of problem we did when we started talking about the Illuminati. There's so many different ways you can spring up for it. Like, we couldn't even come up with a good like a plot of how we're going to do this episode, just because where do we start? Like, where do we...
you could do Skull and Bones would have been an addition where he talked about that.
Of course.
The secret society of the Yale, it was.
Yeah.
John Kerry, George Bush.
Yeah. But there's just so many different directions that you could go about it. Yeah. So I just thought just like the free form conversation about it would work. And I think it worked out pretty well. We're going to have a more thought out episode next week. Not only is it going to be our 50-second episodes, which means we've been putting out podcasts every week for a year now. This is crazy to me. But it's a special one. We are definitely going to cover 9/11. Part of this podcast is talking about conspiracy theories, and to me, 9/11 is one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there.
It's the biggest to me.
Yeah, so
it's what changed everything, guys.
If you don't believe in any of it, don't tune out. Just check us out. We're going to make some jokes and stuff, obviously, but just hear it out. See what you think. Maybe if all else fails, it'll get you get you thinking a little bit, you know?
Or you might learn something off of that you were never even aware of. Because there's so much info that was never brought out.
Oh, yeah. Still to this day.
Yep.
It's just like the whole Kennedy thing. They won't release the information over that just because it will, it's against national security.
Everything's against national security.
Well, I know why it's against national security, because we fucking did it. And if everybody found out about it, yeah, the security of the nation would be under risk, of course.
I think something like that would happen. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, yeah. All right, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Thanks for checking us out.
Yes.
We do have merch available. It's on Teespring. I think they changed their name to Spring. The link is in the description below.
Got some nice shirts, guys.
Support us if you can. Awesome. We will be selling this hat pretty soon. If you're interested in one, hit us up on our Instagram. Send us an email at info@thunderrooster.com or a comment on a YouTube video. Let us know. You know, slide into our DMs. And Uncle Joe, we're going to have him back soon. Yeah. There's definitely some questions about Uncle Joe. He's an awesome dude. He's a family member.
Yes.
On my wife's side, I'll point that out. I'm just kidding. I mean, no, I'm not kidding. He is on my wife's side, but you know, it's not a bad thing. No. But yeah, hope everybody has a great weekend or rest of your week whenever you hear this. Definitely don't let all the depressive news and everything bring you down. Something me and my wife were talking about the other day is, you know, what can we do about all this crap going on? It feels like the world's just going to crap right now. And what I told her is like, we just have to make our world as good as we can. And I think everybody needs to do that.
Yep.
So keep fighting the good fight.
Amen to that.
And check out our old episodes if you haven't heard all of them. And, you know, Epstein didn't kill himself.
We'll see you next week.
Later, guys.
Peace.